everybody. It's Lee with the Enlightened Buzz, and I'd like to ask you guys a question today. And that is there someone in your life that you think could benefit from THC beverage education? Perhaps it's a spouse, a partner, perhaps it's your parents, or even your grandparents. With that, I'd like to introduce Mary with a brand called Pharos, but she's also a dear friend of mine and has the same passion for THC beverage education as I do. And we've immediately connected on so many different areas of our life, and we have so much in common. And I absolutely adore her. And we happen to be working on a project specifically oriented around educating the 55 plus senior community. And so, with that, I'd like to welcome you, Mary, and give you an opportunity to tell everybody a little bit about yourself
Uh-huh.
and where this passion for education and advocacy came from.
Great. I'm glad to be here. I love working together with you, Lee, and on our initiative to educate seniors. I'm a senior myself, as you know, but your listeners and viewers don't know that. But I'm 70. I just turned 70 in September, and I am also a mental health professional, and I do that still full time, even though I've started this beverage brand. It's a whole new world doing that, but I am passionate about this particular category because it is a extremely viable alternative to an alcoholic drink. I mean, I was raised in the generation of heavy alcohol use. My parents, their parents, even through prohibition, my father was given his own private flask that he could carry around. It's just been such a normalized piece of our history. And I would like to make sure that a gentle potency THC beverage is equally normalized. I think it's an essential opportunity for all of us to introduce a balance in our consumption. One of our mission as a company is inspiring a new era of mindful consumption. That's our mission. That's also my practice. I'm a mindfulness coach as well as a couples therapist, and alcohol does play sometimes a very negative role with certain people and certain consumption habits. We really do believe that THC beverages can break through and become destigmatized and normalized on your liquor store shelf. Uh,
Yeah, well, and
to the White Claw, yeah.
I think that's what you and I have been trying to model,
Uh-huh.
like side by side
Mhm,
within our peer group of how do we how do we quickly normalize this and
mhm,
destigmatize it? Because as a kid that grew up in the 80s, and you have your own generational stereotypes,
mhm,
there was this very loud persona that drugs are bad and a
mhm,
lot of negative feelings that exist around that. And we have mutually been trying to be spokespeople for normalizing this. So, I mean,
mhm.
within your demographic, have you found, like, I don't know, just you tell me kind of what that's like within your demographic and in the feelings that people have around cannabis and
Well, I think in my demographic, we're scared of it. I mean, bottom line, it feels scary to be out of control, even with alcohol. But in particular, cannabis from my generation, I didn't consume much. That wasn't my thing. And I think a lot of seniors my age didn't as well. I mean, yes, we're from the Woodstock era. Yes, we ushered in a whole era of cannabis use. But, I don't want to go too far off the reservation, so to speak. I want to try to stay focused here with this conversation. The seniors that I'm talking to and the people who are trying these beverages, our drinks and others, are saying what a relief it is to introduce a very gentle, potency alternative to their glass of wine at night. The fact that they don't feel the side effects they feel from wine. My clients and friends that are going through menopause in their 50s, late 40s and 50s, they notice immediately that a THC beverage doesn't produce the hot flashes that they're getting with their customary glass of red wine, white wine, their typical drink. They're noticing right away that they can sleep better through the night. Others are waking up in the morning feeling more refreshed. There's less inflammation. So
Mhm.
there's all kinds of positive feedback that we're getting, but it is still the stigma associated with cannabis that's keeping people from trying it and also feeling afraid. It feels foreign. It feels, the evil weed from well, from your generation too, learning about it in the '80s, just say no.
Mhm.
I mean, it was the tenet of Ronald Reagan's wife's mission,
Mhm.
in her as a first lady. I think that there is a big misunderstanding, and that's why you and I are passionate about educating people. The amount of THC that's in a beverage, I mean, we have on our cans gentle potency right here, is important for seniors to know this is a very small amount that is easily titrated because you're drinking it. You can drink a little bit with beverages. You feel the effects within 5 to 10 minutes. That's part of the education. So
Uh-huh.
you have a little bit from a can and then you can put it aside, see how you feel, and then drink a little bit more. It's very different than a gummy. The THC is absorbed through the glands. It's not absorbed through your intestine through your stomach. Well, you know so much about this. You're an expert educator, but this is something that seniors need to understand.
Mhm.
It is something within their control. They monitor it. They decide how much they can handle. But it truly does take the place of the usual evening cocktail or glass of wine. It takes the edge off enough to feel that calm experience that we might get from a glass of wine. And it is a better alternative to introduce into your weekly routine. So it certainly has helped me tremendously to get rid of alcohol, in my case, almost entirely. But every now and then I'll have a glass of wine.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that that is an important message, is it's not
Mhm.
necessarily, like, down with alcohol, but,
No, no.
especially as we get older, it doesn't do us a lot of favors, hangovers
Mhm,
get worse, and this
mhm,
does provide a very great alternative.
mhm,
That education is so important because my favorite thing about THC drinks is the control and that I can set it down. I don't feel that need to keep drinking like I sometimes do with alcohol. But I think hearing it from you
mhm,
is why I wanted us to do this so that you know anyone in that community that might have stigmas sees you and says, "Okay, like this information is coming from a trusted source and she
mhm,
gets it." And
mhm.
I
Yeah.
think maybe to add a little bit more context to the story, if you don't mind sharing
Mm,
some of the reason why you are here in the first place. Like what brought you to this particular point? Because it's a very crucial piece of your story and why you're with Pharos now.
mm. It is a crucial piece and why my partner Rhino Stinchfield and I have become passionate advocates in the space. I was very, very happily married for 30 years to a wonderful man who was diagnosed with cancer, a very serious and untreatable form of blood cancer. And he knew that he was dying, and we were very clear on all of that. But as his condition progressed, he started to use cannabis as a way to help his discomfort and also to help him psychologically, emotionally deal with the process of dying, leaving our children, our grandchildren. All of that was extremely challenging, as anyone would understand. However, I have to say, that I wasn't supportive of his use of cannabis. I was one of the people that felt that stigma associated with it. Felt like, he was a stoner, so to speak. I was really, and I feel a little bit embarrassed even sharing this, but I didn't understand at the time. And I had tried, like many seniors, some cannabis that was available in recreational dispensaries, and it was so strong. And I thought, gosh, what's happening to him? And it was concerning, it was alarming. And I didn't put two and two together, honestly. When I first discovered the possibility of creating this beverage with my partner, I didn't really connect the dots of why I felt so passionate about
Mm.
it until even after I'd started it, even after we started the company, I realized, wow, this is very much connected to wanting to, in some ways, make amends to my dear, wonderful husband, who I didn't fully support in his effort to cope and to manage his physical, mental, emotional, spiritual experience of dying of cancer. And I think that I'm making amends in a strange kind of way for that misunderstanding. And I think that's what really motivates me to be as passionate as I feel to educate people, especially our age, as we're aging. It is such a very medically appropriate, healthful opportunity to introduce this into a lifestyle choice and especially gentle potency. I mean, I'm not talking about large amounts of cannabis. We're talking about a very manageable amount. So I finally realized, wow, that's why I'm so passionate to destigmatize, to really help people our age to say, oh, I need to at least try this. I've got to consider it. We get such feedback on this from people our age all the time about what a difference it's made in their life to introduce this into their daily routine rather than having alcohol right now.
Well, I appreciate you sharing that story. I had chills because it's, I mean, just to imagine what he went through, what you went through. And so thank you for sharing that. And I do want to preface that we aren't making any medical claims,
Oh,
but
no.
that,
Thank you.
but, knowing that there are a lot of people out there that are struggling, have struggled with cancer and many other diseases and
Mhm.
things that have found relief in cannabis. And I think just the encouragement of us, helping, really helping others destigmatize it in their mind. So
Uh,
that way there isn't judgment for what individuals, choose to do, but ultimately lead to a place where they will try it themselves. Because I have to say, Mary, this black cherry
Yeah.
is the best tasting THC drink I've had. And I've had a lot. Like, I mean, not because I just sit and drink them all day, but because I've had a lot of different brands.
Uh,
This this is amazing.
yeah, it
And
is.
and that's the thing is for people that don't know, they might think that they're gonna taste weed or a plant or earthy. No, this
No.
tastes like a Luxardo cherry, and
Oh,
I love Luxardo
yeah.
cherries. Like,
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
so
it's true.
so you would have no idea that you are consuming cannabis while drinking it, and we've normalized it to an extent that we can drink it on the same occasions as
Uh-huh.
we would a glass of wine or a beer, or in some cases, people that are choosing not to take pharmaceutical medicine,
Exactly. Right.
and it's an alternative in those incidences
Mhm.
too.
Yes. Mhm.
But I know that we're gonna wrap things up, but I wanted to give you another opportunity to say anything to those that are listening, that you might not have had a chance to say yet.
Mm. Um, I think the messaging that we can give to individuals that are what's called canna-curious in the space, is that, to, start low, go slow, uh, really honor and respect whatever trepidation you have, research it. The information, some of it is available now. You can Google and research the relationship between cannabis and the interactions with medication that you may be on. You can speak to your physician. I think that it is really such a personal choice, and I think respecting where each individual is in this process is an important place to start. And but I will say, just from my own experience, that it has this idea that we need to sort of manage our nervous systems. We need to relax. That stress plays a significant role in our health. That's known. That's a fact, right? So what I like about having a very gentle potency cannabis beverage is that it sets me in a space where I can make other health and life-giving decisions. I can then relax enough to meditate. I can relax enough to take a to do the exercises I need to do. I'm not operating in a state of anxiousness, and it just sort of resets my whole nervous system to make good, healthy choices in terms of even what I'm going to eat.
Mm,
You know, so I think that using this as a tool to help tone the vagus nerve, so to speak, is an alternative as well. I just want to get that message across. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Well, I appreciate you
Mm.
being here and all the work that we're doing together. And obviously, we will have more announcements as
Yes, we
those become available, but very excited to continue to share this message and your message and
uh,
make sure that people understand that we can the times have changed and we don't need to have the mindset that we have desperately been clinging to.
we don't. We
Yeah.
don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's quickly it's age gated. We are aligned with the alcohol
Mhm.
industry where we are age gating this product along with any alcoholic product. So 21 and up is right on our can. We feel strongly about aligning with the alcohol space to make it available in mainstream settings. So that's another piece. We're advocates for responsible consumption as
Oh,
well.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Responsible consumption, regulation, age
Yeah.
gating, all of the things. Bring it
Yes.
on. We want it.
That's right. We do.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you so much
Thank
for joining me today, Mary.
I loved it. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thanks.
Bye.
Bye. I hope you guys enjoyed that conversation and the perspective that Mary was able to provide from an entirely different generational view. If there's someone in your life that you think would value that information, perhaps as a parent or a grandparent or a spouse, I highly encourage you to share this video because sometimes it's just a matter of the information coming from a different source to help open someone's mind and perspective. My name is Lee Gall with the Enlightened Buzz. If you guys liked this video, please hit subscribe and I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks. Bye.